That Sailed by Quinn Bunsock, Aaron Simon, Petra Favorite, and Anna Saban. Our story starts in Odessa, Russia, with the Shevchensky family, Sheliot, Rochelle, and their son, Shalias. As snails in their home country, they are surrounded by family and friends, but the country is in peril. Snails are not getting the nutrition they need and the ferns to live in. The Shevchensky family are Jewish and follow the teachings of the Shelsaya, but some other snails of Russia did not like the beliefs of the Shelsaya. Because the other snails hated the Shevchensky, they tried to break their shells. The Shevchensky could not take this harassment any longer. They devised a plan to escape the wrath of all the evil snails in Russia. Sheliot tells his little shell family about a friend, Slimantha, who faced the same problem as them. Slimantha moved to the great land of America, where she lives in Boston. Samantha now lives a great life in Boston. She started her hat-making business and is now making millions. Sheliot explains to the family that they can do the same. The Shevchensky pack their little snail bags, getting ready to go to hop on the SS Cargo and head for the land of enchantment, known as America. They meets their other little snail friends, who also have little snail bags packed to leave for America. Once everyone has arrived, they all leave to board the SS Cargo. The Shevchensky board the SS Cargo. They are surprised to see how crowded the boat is, not only with snails with the same shells as them, but also different patterns that they have never seen before. The boat was very crowded, and it was very hard to be comfortable. After a long trip, they had arrived at the port, but this land was not what they expected. In fact, it was just an island. There were little worker snails that ushered them out of the boat and into lines. They were told that they had arrived in Shellis Island, and they would have to go through an inspection. They took another little snail boat, and after a short trip, they had arrived in America. They exited the boat and were overwhelmed by the hustling and bustling of the busy city. Seabirds find their building with the rest of the little snail families. Once they open the door of the building, they are surprised to see that not only is the city hustling and bustling, but so is their house. It was filled with so many snails that they didn't even know how they could fit. They managed to find some space and get some rest, but early the next morning they had to get up and go find some work. Shalias and the other young snails went to register for school. Sheliot, Rochelle, and the other adults go out into the bustling city. They knock on every door of the factory building, but they all turn them down or have lines with so many snails that they would never get any work. While at the school, Shalias and the other young snails are told that there is no room in school, and they should just go home. So they go home and wait a very long day for their parents to come home. The adults were still not having any luck, and throughout the day they heard people say very rude things to them. Finally, after a long, tired day, they knock on the door of a little hat shop, and much to their surprise, Slimantha opens the door. She gladly welcomed them in and gave them work. She also told them that she lived in a neighborhood not far from her shop, where many other Jewish families lived. She offered them her extra room, and they gladly accepted. They go home and tell Shalias and his little snail friends that the family is moving to the new neighborhood. They are excited to be accepted into a nice community. When they arrive in their new neighborhood, they are greeted by many friends that had left for America long before them. They feel right at home with all their friends. They work happily in Slimantha's hat shop, and the children work alongside them. They finally feel accepted into America and begin to enjoy their new lives.